Hello interwebs, it is Andrew aka Geek Matters. Sorry for my voice, nature is trying to kill me. Today we're going to do a little tutorial in OBS so I can show you the settings that we use. It took me a long time to find settings that were worth a damn and were consistent, so hopefully this will help you out. I'll try and go through it as efficiently as possible, but knowing me, I will ramble about something stupid at some point. Hey everybody, as I'm editing this video, I'm realizing I didn't actually rep Open Broadcaster software enough. It's OBS. You can check them out at obsproject.com. It is completely free, works on Windows, Mac, and Linux. You can help them out, hit their contribute page, get them some dollars on Patreon or whatever. It's a great product, and they put it out to us for free, so thank them if you can. Anyway, you're going to click your settings. Oh, and please notice, here's the first ramble. I'm recording OBS with OBS. Ooh, very exciting. Okay, so you're going to go to Settings. In your General tab, don't really have to change much. Change your theme, make it something dark, because the system one is just awful. And there we go. That's it. That's all the settings. No, I'm kidding. That's not the settings you do. You're going to go down to your stream settings. If you're going to set up your Twitch connectivity, things like that, you'll get a stream key from them. Haven't delved into that, so don't really deal with it. In your Output tab, again, streaming, we're not really going to be concerned with. We're going to go to Recording. And in Recording, we're going to select MKV as our recording format. So the MKV is the one we use instead of MP4, because if you read all this gobbledygook I can't be bothered with, basically what it says is use MKV and then remix it or remux it to MP4. And the reason we do that is if the recording dies for some reason while we're doing MP4, we lose the whole thing. If the system crashes or whatever. With MKV, there's a little bit more of an error handling nature to it, so you might get a video that cuts off abruptly, but you're not going to lose the last 2 hours you were recording. So that's really important. Audio tracks, I generally record 3 audio tracks. I will show you what those are. Once you've set them up, do make sure to check these in your recording options, otherwise you're not recording the things that you want. In fact, I should have 4 checked here, but I don't currently, so I'll explain that in a minute. For your rate control, you're going to do CBR, which is constant bit rate. You're going to set your bit rate to 40,000 kilobytes per second. I didn't mess with any of this other stuff. I just leave this default. The reason that we're doing CBR 40,000 is because YouTube told me to. It seems to like it better. It doesn't look as shitty as some of my other Myriad tests. And I found some rando on the internet that was like, yo, do this, and it looks pretty good. So thanks, guy or girl, you did a good job. Under audio, I don't ever mess with this. You can up the bit rate to make it sound extra fresh, but I haven't really found a need to do that. Replay buffer, I don't even use it. I probably should. I think that's more for a streaming thing that you can just hit instant replay or something. Audio, you're going to have your desktop audio, which for me is my Realtek sound card and my just built in my motherboard. You can have secondary audio as well. My mic is going to be my Yeti stereo microphone, which is a USB mic, and then we're going to have the Astro headset that I have plugged into my sound card. I don't have speakers. I just run a headset by Astro. It's the A40, I want to say, which has been pretty good to me. It's a solid set. Anyway, that's it for audio. We don't really mess with anything. Video, however, this is very important. You're going to want to have your base canvas be whatever you have Windows set to. So I'm running in 1440p, which is why that's 1440. So it's 2560 by 1440. That's my resolution. Set that as your base canvas. If you want to downscale, if you want to just do 1080p, you can do that. You can just go here and do 1080p. I find that there's no reason to do that. If you have the hard drive space, and you may as well. For the downscale filter, you want to do the Lansksos sharpened scaling, 32 samples. It doesn't really matter if you're not downscaling, but I set it that way every time just cause. Common FPS values. If you can support 60 frames, if you have a decent computer, mine's not that great. It's an i7 from 4 years ago with a shit ton of memory because I went nuts and bought 32 gigs of RAM. And then it also has a brand new card in it, which is a 1660 Ti, which is pretty solid. So I do 60. And then what I do in games is I'll actually frame cap it to 60 frames. That way it's not trying to exceed it, and there's less up and down causing like choppiness. As far as hotkeys, the only ones I set are start and stop. You can set the same key and it becomes a toggle, but I like having them separated. Under the Advanced tab, you're going to have some renderer information, and I feel like I missed a thing up in Output. I did. I don't remember if I talked about the NVIDIA NVENC, but there's a couple options. If you have an NVIDIA card, do NVIDIA NVENC H264 New. This is their newest one as of 7/7/2019. So anyway, back to hotkeys, don't care. Back to Advanced. I don't mess with anything here. There's no reason to. You can up your color space if you want. I don't, because I don't care. So anyway, hopefully I didn't just put some random setting in there. Remember that audio stuff I was telling you about? So I'm going to make a scene and kind of start over and show you what I'm talking about. So this is going to be for video for YouTuber. There you go, perfect. And then for the sources, we're going to do an audio input capture. And we're going to do, well, we'll do new one because we'll say Yeti new. So you basically get a drop down of all the audio inputs. You pick the one that you want, in this case the Yeti. Boom. So that now has Yeti new in there. You can dial this back. You want to stay out of red if possible. So you'll see I already have my actual Yeti down here somewhere. That tends to keep me out of the red so it just doesn't get blown up. So that's adding an audio source. Then the tougher part is you want to add video sources. There's basically two things that I do. I do a display capture. We'll just call it display capture 2, which actually shows, you pick which display you want if you have multiple, but this is just showing my primary display. Okay, so that's that. And then the other one I do is game capture. Game capture has a few more options. I only ever do capture full screen window. Like game in full screen, it's what I do, and that way if I tab out or something in the middle of a recording or a stream, it doesn't show like all the dumb, embarrassing crap on my desktop, like the Antidotes for Sadness folder. But it's a good way to kind of limit what the audience sees, which is kind of neat. So I have, these two are my real ones. I have the game, which is black right now because I don't have a game open, and then my desktop if I want to show you guys a cool video like this. That is the majority of it. Now we have audio. Remember I vaguely talked about that stuff earlier? Here's how it works. We have 3 audio sources. We've got the Astro mic, which I don't really use anymore. We've got the desktop audio, and we've got the Yeti. So microphone, computer. The way I do it is I stack all of the inputs into track 1. Everything that I'm using goes in track 1 and gets a checkbox. Desktop audio, which is the computer audio, goes only in 2, right? And then the Yeti goes only in 3. And then if you want, you can have your Astro record just in 4 if you're doing a secondary mic, but I don't ever use that, which is why I didn't have 4 checked in the previous screen. So now that I have all of these checked, when I record a video, I can actually go back and mess with the audio a little bit. I can import different audio files, I can bring volume levels up and down, pitch, whatever. It's really, really helpful. I found that out early on. I'm going to show you a little example of that. I'll bring in some dumb recording I did in Wildlands. I'll show you just kind of what I mean about the different audio.
Alright, man, we're back. We're back and we're gonna get you.
Okay, so there's me being like weird, creepy Batman. Now I'm going to go to audio, and you'll see I have the track, which is track 1, which is going to be mixed audio, desktop, and mic. Then I'll switch to just 2, which is just game audio. I assure you I'm talking. I never stop talking. And then we're going to go to track 3, where I politely ask these men with cool hats to get out of their car.
I will return it in.
But there's no game audio. And then we'll move back to track 1.
Wait for Jim.
Where it's all mixed. And I'm talking about Jim and
Terry.
yelling at computer people that don't exist. But anyway, that's a good little example of why that audio thing works. And again, that setting is back here somewhere. I can never actually find it when I need to. It's under output, audio? No. Recording. There we go. Output, recording. You pick your audio tracks. These 3 tracks get built into your file, and you can then use those to change your audio rate. That's really helpful. especially if you're new to this like we are. Getting the pieces separate so that you can kind of try and normalize volume is really important. This has probably been a much longer video than I anticipated, but hopefully that helps you. If you have questions, if you need help, if you just want to tell me how wrong I am, please leave a comment, hit the like button, hell, hit the dislike button. I don't know. I don't think YouTube punches you in the face for that. Anyway, yeah, subscribe, hit the bell thingy so the YouTubers get the money or wing. I don't know how that works. I don't know how any of that works. But anyway, hopefully that helps. And if it doesn't, it costs you nothing. So good job. Thanks for watching.